This is your spoiler warning for Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 2, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. If you have yet to see this episode, please leave now. But if you are sticking with me, then let's discuss A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I love this episode. Flat out. As great as Winterfell was, this one basically improved upon it on every level. The fact that the majority of the episode takes place during the same night as the battle that we're getting next episode adds so much to it for me. The opening scene with Jaime was well done. I liked seeing the different people at play with different levels of power and how Brienne vouched for him. That was over faster than I wanted it to be and expected it to be, but because of what it led to, I was okay with that. I did quite like Jaime and Bran's scene together. That was good, and seeing the two of them having this conversation about how they would both be the same people had Jaime not pushed Bran out of that window was really great. And of course, Bran has this line about if there ever even will be an afterwards, which is, that's a pretty solid line. Bran has a scene with Jaime in which he asks to serve under her command, which is quite nice, and I really like seeing these characters together, and I love how much Jaime has grown since back in Season 2 when she first met him. They really have come a long way since then, and the way she reacts to him, basically just not being rude to her, makes sense, and I just like seeing those two characters together. We also see Dany and Sansa conversing together, which was really interesting to watch because they're basically at odds to an extent, but the situation involving Jon is a complicated one, and just seeing the way that they try to keep the conversation largely civil, but then throwing the occasional punch every once in a while was just really engaging to watch. We see Tormund and the group get back, and they deliver the news of what is to come, which is insane, and of course there's a couple of great moments where he gives Jon a hug, Tormund does, and then he also asks where the big woman is. That was awesome. We also see everybody planning what they're going to do in the next episode, which is really crucial because now we have a pretty clear picture of what they're expecting and what they're going to try doing, and who's going to be where, and it really does a great job of setting up what's to come, although of course plans are definitely going to change throughout the episode. Also, Tyrion apparently has a conversation with Bran off camera. I would have liked to see how that went, but whatever. There's a scene between Grey Worm and Missandei which basically convinced me that Missandei is going to die, and Grey Worm has a pretty solid shot at dying too. In fact, the characters in this next episode that I'm most concerned about dying are Arya, Jaime, Jon, Missandei, Grey Worm, Podrick, and Theon. There's more people that definitely might not survive, but those are the ones that I'm most concerned about not making it. Gendry and Arya have a couple more scenes together this episode. They still have this cute, flirtatious dialogue that actually works surprisingly well and is pretty funny to boot. Of course, she finally gets her weapon, which is some kind of cool-looking weapon. I don't really know how to describe it, but that was good to see, and I would be remiss not to mention that the two of them do get together, and while it was admittedly weird at first for me to see Arya taking her clothes off because I've known her as such a young girl, and I do feel somewhat protective about her. She's basically tied with Jaime as my favorite character, but I got over that pretty quickly because, she's an adult, so really, it's fine. And actually, I liked the humanity that it added to her. Her dialogue with Gendry and her just wanting to see what sex was like before she quite possibly dies in the next episode is incredibly human and believable, which is something that I appreciated. And I mentioned last time I appreciated something that they've done to humanize Arya in this season, which is also pretty cool. Also, I have to mention that wonderful Sansa and Theon hug. That was earned, and that was sweet, and they've both come so far, and I hope that they both live, but Theon probably won't. And throughout this night, there's so many moments between characters that I love. Jon, Sam, Ed, and Ghost. Up on the Wall was great. The Hound and Arya had a nice brief scene, which was very enjoyable, and even incorporated Beric Dondarrion. Jorah and Sam had a moment, and lest I forget, Lyanna Mormont was there as well. The whole scene by the fireplace with Tyrion and Jaime, where more people start joining them. The moment when Tyrion fills up Podrick's cup to the point of spilling. Tormund's tale of killing a giant and all the flirting that he tries with Brienne, that had me in stitches watching this episode. And the moment when Brienne is knighted was just absolutely fantastic. I loved seeing Jaime give her the honor and recognition that she truly deserved. Then, of course, the song Jenny of Oldstone, as sung by Podrick, showing various characters and what they've chosen to do with possibly their final night. That was beautiful. I loved the vibe that gave me. It really reminded me of Pippin's singing from Return of the King. seeing what all these people choose to do with what they believe to be their final hours is really quite sad, but also beautiful at the same time. This whole episode had me freaking out because of the fact that they're in the same night as the battle with the Night King, and all of the preparation they put into it. It's just a reminder of the fact that nobody's safe. Literally every character that I care about, other than Bronn, is at Winterfell, and they're getting ready to die. It's really crazy for me to watch, while also being exciting at the same time. I just can't believe that next week we're getting a battle with such a massive potential and with so much at stake. It's absolutely insane to me that this is happening next Sunday. In so many ways, this is a goodbye to so many characters. We don't yet know who won't make it out of the next episode, but we do know that many won't. Of course, we have a scene between Dany and Jon, which is pretty expertly played. It's really beautiful the way it's revealed to her, and even though it was information we as the audience already have heard before, it was great to see the way she reacted to it, which was understandable. This of course leads directly into the moment when the army of the dead arrive at Winterfell. As everyone prepares to fight and Jon and Dany presumably head to the dragons, we end at the peak of the episode's tension when we see that there is truly such a large number of actual White Walkers, and so many of our beloved characters are truly doomed. Overall, I thought this episode was pretty fantastic. This is truly as good as a Calm Before the Storm episode can be, giving us so many real human moments between our characters and breaking some of the tension with Tormund's delightful humor. I was very impressed by this episode, and I thought it was even better than last week's premiere. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms earns an excellent rating of 9.5 out of 10. I can't describe how excited I am for next week's episode. At the time of recording, it's 4 days away now. 4 days, and I can't imagine how long it's going to be waiting the rest of this week for that episode to be in my life. I'm so scared, I'm so excited, I'm so nervous, I'm so hyped. The last time I was excited for something was sitting down for The Last Jedi on December 14, 2017. As you can tell, Game of Thrones means quite a lot to me, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us next week. There's so much potential, and I fully believe in everyone behind this show to pull it off. So I'm super excited, and I'll definitely come back to you after I've seen that episode and it comes out. So that's going to do it for now, folks. I hope to see you again next week when I discuss Season 8, Episode 3 of Game of Thrones, probably Wednesday at the earliest, Friday at the latest. Or if you join me on Sunday, then I'll have a review up for a classic Doctor Who episode, The Edge of Destruction. But, like I said, that's going to do it for now. Thank you for watching. Take care, and have a lovely week.